Hiya, welcome to the masterclass. Today we are going to be speaking about nouns and specifically common nouns, proper nouns, and collective nouns. So before we move on to that, we need to know what a noun is. And when we are speaking about nouns, we are speaking about a word class. And the word class nouns is when we are referring to objects. And it could be that you are referring to a person, it could be that it is a place, or it could just be a thing. Okay, so all of those people, places, and things, they fit in the word class of nouns. And there are many different groups of nouns. And as I have mentioned, we are going to be looking at the common nouns, the proper nouns, and the collective nouns. But before we begin, I just wanted to speak about the singular and plural nouns because I think that you hopefully may have looked at those in school. So if we are speaking about singular nouns, we are speaking about one of an object. So a pen, a glass, a phone. So they are singular. If you are speaking about plural nouns, you are speaking about more than one of the object. And many plural nouns, you just add s, es, or ies to the end of it. So you have one pen, but you have two pens or three pens. You have one bottle, but two bottles or three bottles. Now, some words, they don't follow this rule. So if you have one man, if you have two or three, you wouldn't say mans, you would say men. So it is the middle vowel sound that changes. If you have one child, you would have three, four, or five children. So just be aware of how the spelling changes for those that aren't regular. So let's move on and let's begin looking at the common nouns and the proper nouns and collective nouns. Now, all nouns, they are either common nouns or they are proper nouns. They will also fit into other noun groups, but we speak about those in future masterclasses. So when we're speaking about common nouns, we're speaking about the general names for people, for places, or for objects. So if we're speaking about people, it might be that you're speaking about a boy, a girl, a baby. It might be the job that they do, so a nurse, a policeman, a doctor. So those are people. When we're speaking about places, we are being general. So we're speaking about the town, the park. You might talk about home. You might talk about a hospital. So you are being general with those places. And then objects. So it could be that you're speaking about tables, chairs, books, or it might be animals as well, also fit into this group. So pigs, crocodiles, monkeys. So those are all common nouns and they are the general items. Then we have proper nouns. And when we speak about proper nouns, we are speaking about specific things. And proper nouns, they always begin with a capital letter, no matter where they are in the sentence. So whether it's at the beginning or whether it is in the middle of the sentence, they still have capital letters. Common nouns would only have a capital letter if they were at the beginning of the sentence. So that is one big difference that you need to be aware of. Now, when we're speaking about people as proper nouns, you're using someone's name. So whether it is their first name, like my name's Lynn, so it would have a capital L, and that is the proper noun, or whether you are speaking about teachers or people in authority that would have Mr. Green, Mr. Smith, Mrs. Brown, they have capital letters for the Mr. and the Mrs. plus the surname after it. So remember that when you're referring to the people and their names. Also, days of the week. So any day of the week, it begins with a capital letter. Months of the year, it follows the same suit. January, February, March, they all start with capital letters. Then we'll move on to cities and countries. So London is the capital city of England. So London, England, they have capital letters at the beginning of them. And when we talk about where people live, you would have an address that has a street at the beginning of it. Now, if I'm talking in London, Regent Street, I would need a capital letter for the Regent and a capital letter for street. Okay. If I am speaking generally and I'm just talking about the street, it doesn't need a capital letter because you're using it as a common noun. But if you're using it in an address, it needs a capital letter because it's part of the proper noun. Okay. Then you've got shops. So you've got Tesco's, Asda, I don't know, Lidl, any of the supermarkets. They're all shops, so they need the capital letter. But if you are speaking generally about a supermarket, it doesn't need a capital letter because you're speaking generally. You're not being specific about which supermarket. And brand names. So if you're speaking about Mars bars, Mars is the brand, it has the capital letter. If you're speaking about Lego, it's the brand of toy. Minecraft would be a brand. So they all begin with capital letters. When we are speaking about planets, so also Mars is a planet, it needs a capital letter. The planet that we live on is Earth, so that would have a capital letter if you are speaking about the planet. Okay, if you are speaking about the brown soil, that is a common noun, the earth, and that doesn't need a capital letter if you're speaking about the brown soil. If you're speaking about the planet Earth, that is a proper noun, so it does need the capital letter. And then the final bit that we're going to cover today are the collective nouns. And I've put that in this group purely because you often learn them at the same time at school. So when we're talking collective nouns, they are names for groups of people, often groups of animals and places and things. So if we are speaking about a flock, you are speaking about one of two things. You could have a flock of sheep, or you could have a flock of birds. So some of these words, they can be used for two different groups, okay? When you've got an army, you're speaking about a group of soldiers. So a group of soldiers is called an army. The next one's an unusual one because it is also the common noun for a place, a library. But we refer to a group of books as a library of books. So the nouns, as you can see, they fit into several different groups. And then the last one, a pack, you have either a pack of wolves or a pack of cards. So again, there's two different and three different ways of doing this because you would also have a pack of dogs. So there's lots of different uses for pack as a collective noun. So let's have a look at the activity that goes with what we have been doing. So I'm going to color code this grid and I'm going to use blue for collective nouns, red for the common nouns, and green for proper nouns. Now, I'm sure that some of you have looked at this and you've thought, 1 minute, Lim, there are no capital letters here. There's a reason for that. The reason that I haven't put the capital letters in is because it would be far too easy to spot those proper nouns otherwise. So we're going to have a look and we need to decide which type of noun it is, and also does it need to begin with that capital letter? Okay, so the first one, pig. Now, I'm speaking about an animal. I'm not speaking about a group of pigs, and I'm not speaking about Peppa Pig. Okay, so it's a general noun. So they are the common nouns. So I'm going to highlight that one in red. Now, the next one, Luke. Luke is a boy's name, so it should have a capital letter. So it should be looking like it is now on the screen. And because it is someone's name, it is a proper noun. So I need to highlight that one green. Then when we speak about a litter, we are speaking about a collective noun, and it is a collective noun for a group of puppies. Okay, so a litter is a group of puppies. Then we have a crew. And when we talk about a crew, we are speaking about a group of people that work together. So they might often, you would find them on a boat, so you would have the crew of a ship. But you might also find them backstage in a concert. The crew would be the people that set all of the stage up. So that is another collective noun. The next one, a knife. We're speaking about cutlery, but we're not speaking about all of the different types of cutlery. We are speaking generally about one group, so it is a common noun. Okay, the next one, Tokyo. I'm hoping that you will have realised it should have a capital letter, because if you ever visit Japan, the capital city of Japan is Tokyo. So that needs a capital letter and it is a proper noun. Then we have Malaysia. And again, that should have a capital letter because it is the name of a country. So I'll put it next to it with the capital letter, and it needs to be highlighted green because it is a proper noun. The next one, a fleet. Again, it is to do with ships and boats. So you would have a fleet of ships. And so that is a collective noun. The next one, hospital. Now, I am being quite general here. I am not speaking about St. George's Hospital or Lincoln Hospital. I am speaking generally. So, hospital, unless it is a specific hospital, it is a common noun. Then the next one, pea, I'm talking about one little green vegetable, okay? And I'm not talking about a pod of peas, so it's not the collective noun. I am just speaking generally, so it is a common noun. The next one, I hope that everyone has spotted, Thursday. It needs a capital letter, so it is a day of the week, and it has a capital letter, so Thursday, it is a proper noun. So I'm going to highlight that one green. And the very final one, a crowd, I am actually talking about a group of people that are gathered together. So a crowd, it's a collective noun for a lot of people gathered together. So I will save that so that I can send it to your parents later. Thank you very much for watching this afternoon. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you again in the future. Thank you. Bye.